It's the 25th of July 2013 and this is Pocket Gamer to give you a first look at all the new and exciting iOS games that have hit the App Store this week. Riptide GP2 is a wet and wild wave racer-like and obviously a sequel to Riptide GP. This one is just as much fun to play as the first one. The controls are spot on, the water physics are a real thrill to wrestle with, and the trick system is pretty engaging. Plus it looks gorgeous on an iPhone 5. I did have some trouble with the upgrade system, as I mentioned in my review. I felt like I was constantly unable to keep up with the competition until I upgraded the top speed and acceleration of my ride, but getting money for those little tune-ups requires grinding on older stages, or paying for in-app purchases. But when you're not slogging through previously played stages for money, Riptide GP's got a full career, online play, loads of stuff. So if you don't mind a bit of a grind, do go get it. It is a really fun mobile racer. Prince of Persia: The Shadow and the Flame is the spiffy reimagining of the ancient MS-DOS game of the same name, but now with lush 3D visuals and in-app purchases. It does make a good use of the touchscreen gestures for controls, so running, jumping, fighting, sneaking, crawling and climbing are all very easy to pull off. It also looks very posh, it's filled with secret stuff to find, it has speed runs for added replay value. I've only scratched the surface of this one, but it's shaping up to be another high quality Prince of Persia game and I really want to play more, so I'm going to go do that. Back in a minute. Bloodmask from Final Fantasy maker Square Enix is an Infinity Blade clone, but this time you're fighting vampires instead of titans, Superman villains, giant robots or giant sea monsters. The usual explanation applies then. You want to dodge enemy attacks so you can get an opportunity to do big counterattacks. But unlike most Infinity Blade knockoffs, this one has full worlds for you to wander about in, side quests and nonsense cutscenes. But the most ridiculously brilliant thing in Bloodmask, you can use the front-facing camera on your iPhone to put your own gurning mug in the game. It will actually replace the main character's face with your own stupid mug and ruin any and all dramatic tension the game was going for. Wonderful. It blows my mind that developers are still coming up with inventive new touch-friendly controls for their games. The latest can be found in a charming little casual game called Sky Tourist. Here, astronaut hero Petey is dangling on a rope that's tied between two rocket ships. You can move the ships up and down with your thumbs, causing Petey to rise, fall and slide left or right. It's actually harder to control than it looks, and navigating these pastel-coloured landscapes, weaving in and out of cubelets, dodging spikes and opening gates can be surprisingly frantic. It's always good fun though. As far as I've played, Sky Tourist isn't a particularly difficult game, so wait for our full review to see if it becomes more challenging in later levels. Chillaxian is a retro-inspired neon-dip shooter from Punch Quest co-conspirator Mad Garden. It was made as part of the One Game a Month project, but seeing as creator Paul Pridham was epically late with June's game, Chillaxian was made just in a matter of days. It doesn't really show it, mind. This is a polished little number with a really clever control scheme. You just jam on the left and right sides of the screen to make your ship move, and it auto-fires if a pixelated alien scumbag enters its field of vision. Like the name suggests, this is not some teeth-grinding, bullet-hell, hard-as-nails frustration fest. It's a slow, easy and relaxing shmup, so if you want to zone out and just kill some invaders, you could do a lot worse than Chillaxian. Iron Force is Chillingo's take on World of Tanks, I guess. It's a free-to-play tank combat game with a big online component. It's not very polished. The tracks on your tank don't move, for example, and this is one pushy son of a gun. Within 2 minutes of playing, the tutorial already had me in the store and told me to pay real money for the game's premium currency. Seriously, it was probably less than 2 minutes. It was ridiculous. I said sod off, of course, but you'll soon notice that everything is locked behind paywalls. You're asked to pay to respawn when you die. It's got an energy system with nagging push notifications. I'm sorry, I simply can't understand why anyone would want to play a game that's trying to sell you something every 6 seconds. Get it out of here. Batpack that's going to be a name that pops on the microphone. Batpack is a cute little casual game where you guide a family of cave-dwelling Dracula to bees to safety. I guess these ones are fruit bats because you want to chomp on bananas, oranges and apples and the like along the way. The controls are very simple. You make a small swipe in any direction to make the bat fly, so it's a case of making lots and lots of little swipes to guide him around the level. You have a surprising amount of control over the little guy. Sadly, the actual game is less successful than the controls. As far as I've played, the level design is boring and repetitive, might be one for kids, but older gamers should look elsewhere. Delta V Racing, or Delta X, or Delta Y, Delta V. Delta V Racing is Wipeout as a side-scroller. So you've got floating cars, futuristic tracks, weapon and boost pads, a robotic announcer and an EDM soundtrack. But this is Wipeout as played in some parallel universe where someone accidentally lost the third dimension. It's perfectly playable, it controls like a side-scrolling shmup and you have quite a lot of control over your vehicle, and it has a clever weapon system. To access the later, more deadly power-ups, you must abstain from using weapons and instead stack them together. It's a little bit of risk and reward for you. There's just not that much spark there. Losing the third dimension also means losing the breakneck speeds and explosive thrills. Basically, I can't see myself playing this instead of Wipeout 2048 on Vita. Can you? Block Block Robo is an insane and unpredictable match 3 puzzler. It's fast paced, everything's constantly changing, and it's got an urgent high tempo soundtrack. It has about 1 million different special blocks and I don't understand how half of them work. It makes Candy Crush look like a geriatric dinosaur. This is match 3 having an epileptic seizure. This is match 3 high on lemonade and sugar. Annoyingly unresponsive controls aside, this looks to be rather good and is definitely worthy of further investigation. Tetris is perfect, right? I mean, the shapes, the speed, the music, the rules, everything about it is perfect. There's a reason why this Russian import was the hottest handheld game of the 90s. So why ruin it, EO, with your likely litigious knockoff Block Boy? The pieces are weird, the special powers are odd, the Game Boy border and 50 Shades of Green graphics say Tetris, but the wonky pieces say lame iOS counterfeit. The music is nice though. Let's have a little listen to the music. See ya.